Hi, I'm Tankfish, and I am coping, molding, and seething because my old Blox Fruit video got Thanos snapped by YouTube. The game had a lot of updates, so I might as well make a V2 version for some quick views and cash. Anyways, welcome back to Blox Fruits. Nothing changed much, actually. The fruit market is still heavily inflated by the fruit dealer, richest men of the world at this point. Piracy for vitamin C is still rampant. The gameplay still consists of you repeatedly pressing these buttons like a brain-dead vegetable, and the One Piece still haven't been found, just like your dad. You play as some schmuck with no backstory nor connection and begin your journey in a relatable setting. You're broke, homeless, and weak as f***. You're to wander around the seas, or as they call it in One Piece, the blues, Jesse. Until the day you die, and your only goal is to become stronger. But unlike shonen animes, the power scaling isn't f***ed up since there's a level limit, so you won't be blowing up planets for shits and giggles anytime soon. Playing this game is like being an American soldier on the Pacific Front. You hop from island to island committing genocide, and there seems to be no end of enemies to kill. The quests are soulless. The devs didn't even bother putting some soft backstory to their quests to add some lore to their games, such as, I don't know, the Great Monkey Banana Farmer War of 1969. It's just,
please select a quest.
And then you pick the NPCs you want to commit mass genocide on and, you know, commit the mass genocide for experience and money. In this game, you can either be a Marine, aka the white guys with government privileges, or the pirates, aka the guys getting assaulted by the guys with government privileges. They have committed a crime, and their rights have been forfeited. As a Marine, you can manhunt pirates to get their juicy bounties. You cannot be damaged by fellow Marines because white on white isn't a thing. And you cannot create a crew because the world government fears you. They don't want you to have funny ideas about amassing an army and overthrowing them. As a pirate, you can do what you want because a pirate is free. Unless your wife sues you. Then you sue them back. Kill random people for clouts or for shits and giggles. Do a little bit of trolling and tomfoolery. And from crews with funny names and possibly bypassed illegal logos. Similar to Italy, you can switch between the two factions freely. Unlike what most people expect, you won't be spending a lot of time on sea. In fact, you will be spending a lot of time sleeping. AFK farming with the macro script. How else do you think I kept my sanity? The depths was literally calling. Devil fruits are basically rotten fruits that give people diarrhea so severe that they temporarily unlock Super Saiyan, which in turn gives them superpowers, I think. After eating a fruit, ocean water will become sulfuric acid, and you will slowly die if you stay in it. But for some reason, other bodies of water don't do any harm to you, so at least you won't be drowning in your bathtub. There are 3 categories of devil fruit. Logia, aka the bending arts, Zoan, aka the furries, plus Buddha for some reason, and Paramecia, aka everything else, because the author realized that there are gonna be so many categories and just gave up. Man just said f it and just put everything in one category. All Logia fruits give their user the classic anime ability called Osoi Watashi wa shoukai mono o naguru no ga suki desu, and makes the user immune to attacks of NPCs or players whose level is lower than theirs. Of course, not all fruits are made equal. For example, bananas are objectively better than oranges. You just peel the thing and you eat. It's so easy. Instead of like trying to get the orange skin off and getting juice all over your hand and it's all sticky and Anyways, the cheapest fruits, aka the Alakbar fruit and the Sonic the Hedgehog fruit, are total garbage. And whenever you find one of these, you should return them to where they belong, the garbage. On the other hand, the dragon fruit... Oh, hold up, dragon fruit's not the meta anymore. The venom fruit allows you to whoop people with your eyes closed because it takes no skill to use, which is why it is the favorite fruit amongst the mentally handicapped community. You can find fruits in all nowhere somewhere on the map. Buy them from the Blox Fruits dealer, who happens to have shadow clones all over the place. Buy them from the advanced fruit dealer, who is basically just the cooler fruit dealer. Or if you're a man who likes to make terrible financial decisions, Genshin, get them from the Blox Fruits dealer's cousin. Yes, it's a family business. By engaging in throwing away your money and praying to God for potential positive return, aka gambling. Many have been scammed and pushed to bankruptcy by this man. Do not trust anyone who says that they got good shits from him. They're all paid actors sent by him to lure in the unsuspecting victims. Man even has a price for players with different levels so he can scam both the poor and the rich. You can only have one fruit active at a time because according to the lore, if you eat the second one, you die. But in this game, you just the previous one out from the diarrhea and get the power of the second fruit, I think. Technologies have advanced and now we have refrigerators. Now you can store one of each fruit in your refrigerator, so you can eat it after 3 months when it's all mushy and shit. And buying the battle pass will grant you a Samsung smart fridge that you can use to store more fruits. If you have an inactive devil fruit in your inventory and you die or leave the game, you lose it and you can cry about it. Some fruits can become awakened by beating specific rates and achieving post-nut clarity. You have to pay Netherlands Antillian Guilder, currency of Curaçao, and Sint Maarten. What the f? To awaken your abilities, and you can only awaken one per raid. Most of the awakened abilities are basically the regular abilities, but on crack. They got more range, more damage, and an edgier name. You can switch awakened abilities back to regular abilities or vice versa at the Wook Awakening Expert. If you want to enjoy a nice Sunday at the beach without the risk of drowning, you can go to this dude in the prison to remove your fruit. There are also fighting styles that you can use to beat the shit out of people. Currently, there are regular combat, the rarest fighting style, unobtainable for most. Dark step, kick the shit out of people. Death step, kick the living shit out of people. Electro, what happens when you stick a fork in the power outlet? Electric cloud, what happens when you drop a toaster in your bathtub? Water kung fu, water bending. Sharkman karate, water bending on steroid. Dragon breath, bootleg Chinese dragon fruit. Dragon talon, bootleg Vietnamese dragon fruit. Superhuman, Superman, but without all the cool shit. He's just very strong. He can lift trucks and shit, and doesn't wear his underwear outside. There are probably gonna be more in the future, but unless YouTube takes this video down as well and forces me to make a V3, I'm probably not gonna make any updates. Unlike devil fruits, once you have learned a fighting style, you can switch it back for the amazing price of free. There are currently 4 abilities in the game. Geppo, violate the laws of physics by jumping on air. Soru, the classic anime teleport behind. Omae wa mu shinderu. Buso haki, become black using the power of sheer f***ing will. And Ken haki, unlock ultra instinct and ESP hack by starting to believe. You level up Ken haki by dodging like John Wick in Matrix, and Buso haki by punching and stabbing people or intentionally getting beaten down like a masochist. You can get a maximum of 8 dodges with Ken haki, and it can be upgraded to V2 where you can see everyone's level and items. It's like Synapse for poor people. V2 also has a bigger range, recharges faster, and you can dash further when you chase women during the night. Ken haki is a very useful skill for tax evasion, as you can see the tax collector coming from afar and you can dodge the tax. Buso haki gives you damage and defense buffs, and just like Cancer, it has 5 stages. Actually, scratch that, it's more like fisting. We have half arm, full arm and torso. Full arm, torso, and head. Full arms, torso, head, thighs, and knees.
What the f is this?
And finally, full body. At stage 5, you become Iron Man and will literally have balls of steel. Your Buso haki can be constantly activated and there's no downside to the ability, so it's kind of like a life support. You should always have it turned on. In Blox Fruits, you can also engage in glorious melee combat and British the shit out of your opponents. Or fight like a talent to the funny American, owning a flintlock for home defense as the founding fathers intended. You can get these weapons by either using the good old free trade capitalism or murder and loot.
Yeah, freedom!
And just like fruits, you can store swords and guns in your anime ender chest. Every sword and gun have unique abilities, and the rarer ones often deal more damage because of a phenomenon called the placebo effect. Try to convince me as much as you want, but I don't think a f***ing pipe should deal more damage than 3 swords combined. Swords have very high burst damage, so it's very important to f***ing aim. And guns are good for extending combos and being annoying as f***. Most people don't main guns because they're bad. Some swords can be upgraded to V2 by completing certain requirements such as brutally murdering someone or brutally murdering someone. V2s are some of the strongest weapons, with some being kind of brain dead to use, which is why people f***ing hate it, which is also why I like to use it, to piss people off. If you want to troll a sword main, use the chop fruit and yell, "Easy, easy skill issue," while you beat him down as he is unable to retaliate and use his sword. If you want to troll a gun main, you don't need rubber fruit. You can just call him a idiot. Cosplay and get buffs from it. Feel your 8th grade syndrome or some shit. I don't know. You get accessories by buying from the Gucci shop, looting them from dead bosses' corpses, or completing certain requirements. There are 5 stats in this game. How much beating you can take before you kick the bucket, how much energy you get in your fighting style damage, how well you can use vitamin C, how well you can shank people with a shiv, and how much you're an American on a scale of 1 to 100, 1,000, 250, 200, 2025. Every time you level up, you get 3 stat points, meaning you can max out 3 of the 5 stats. It is recommended you always max out your defense and melee so you don't get f***ing one-shotted like some side character or running out of energy after some dashings and jumping like an overweight, obese, fat man. I know that's redundant. With the rest of the stat points, you can dump it out in fruits if you want to be quote-unquote versatile, or in other words, don't want to use your brain and have an easy time in the game. Dump it all in sword if you want to stab other players to death, as it's actually really good in PvP. Dump it all in guns if you're a f***ing idiot. Or finally, be a hybrid and get f***ing whooped because you're not decent at everything, you're just not good at anything. Last video got removed because I was ranking funny One Piece races, putting them on a hierarchy and sending the unfit to the camps. YouTube deemed that hate speech because only Nazis would put races on a tier list, whether they're fictional or not. I guess they're right. I did go a little too far roasting the fish people and promoting furry supremacy. I called the Skypians inferior ducks, which was basically a slur. So if you want to learn more about the races, their abilities, and which one is better, go watch some other guys' tier list videos, because I am now a responsible man who refuses to put fictional races on a hierarchy because I am a good member of the society. Combat in this game is based on combos. You can try to make one your own or use the power of internet to GTA 1 online. At max level, you should be able to kill anyone if you manage to land 2 or 3 combos. There's no blocking mechanism because this is a One Piece game and One Piece characters are too badass to be blocking shit. Or maybe the devs are too lazy to code blocking in the game. So you have to be constantly running around and dashing to not get kecked. It's like dodgeball. In a fight, you should try to disable your opponent's Ken Haki as fast as possible so they don't pull an ultra instinct on your ass when you start a combo. If you have skill issue at PvP because your aim is simply use dragon fruit. Oh wait, no. It's venom fruit now. It's even more brain dead. Then you add a pull V2 and yeah, they'll solve all your problems. If you still lose, then grab some nakamas and use the power of friendship to gank the shit out of people. If you still lose, then I don't know, blame on the lag, I guess. Do not forget that it is common courtesy to spam easy in the chat after you kill someone. It is part of the tradition. You must comply. There are 3 types of raids: event raid, boss raid, fruit raid, raid Shadow Legend. This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legend. Just kidding. Event raids like factory raids and pirate raids are like Black Fridays, except they happen every 1.5 hours. And just like Black Friday, people will kill to get what they want. The fruit. Do you know that dragon fruit is actually a real fruit in real life? Like it's called pitaya. It's really good. The one who deals the most damage gets awarded the fruit, so expect a lot of Karen player killers. Boss raids are just regular bosses but on crack and overdose with steroid, but they also drop better shits because they're richer. How else you think they're affording all the muscle milks? For most, you have to complete some task before you can activate the raid. Fruit raids are where you awaken your fruits and farm fragments. You need a special microchip to enter, and each raid awakens a specific fruit. You get microchips by giving 100 grants or a devil fruit to Stephen Hawking, who said paralysis and left his wheelchair. Look how happy he is now. There's a 2-hour cooldown to buy microchip with money and no cooldown if you buy it with fruits. Because the game wants you to buy the Fruit Notifier Game Pass. They want your Bobucks. All of it. It is recommended to do these with a party because the amount of fragments you get depends on the time remaining and apes together strong. The party is a communist party that praises Comrade Lenin's ideology, so everyone gets the same reward. If you have no friends, then have fun doing raids alone while pretending to be a Sigma male. You grind by committing genocides on the wildlife and native populations. On every island, there's a psychopath who will pay you mad bucks if you can satisfy their thirst and hunger for death and destruction. And you basically farm the quest this dude gives over and over again, annihilating everything on the island to level up. And once you're done ravaging, terrorizing, and doing a funny natural selection on the inhabitants of the island, you can go to the next island and do the same f***ing thing all over again. It's just like colonization. It is recommended recommended to farm with a Logia fruit, as you can bully NPCs that are lower level than you all you want because you have immunity. If you're a diligent boy, you can farm manually by gathering mobs together and killing them with AoE abilities. But if you're like me, someone who doesn't work hard but works smart, you can get an auto clicker and just AFK farm this one poor NPC over and over again, like what Gorodo Experience Requiemu did to Diavolo. Other than level, you also have to grind for mastery and haki. Every 3 masteries gives you 1 skill point in that category, so you will need that to deal big boy damage. That is not all, you also have to grind for fragments, aka magic cocaine required to get some of the good shits and awaken your fruits. You can only farm them from killing bosses, doing gacha, searching chests on the Mirage Island, and completing raids. The real pain in the ass grind is of course getting boss drops. You could be blessed by our Lord and Savior, RNGesus, Gabe Newell, and get in your first try. Or be an unlucky scrub who will have to experience the eternal pain of maybe I'll get it next time. Money isn't a problem most of the time because you're a f***ing pirate for f***'s sake. You steal money for a living. This is often omitted, but you should also farm for your bounty and honor, as those give you a damage and defense buff every 500k due to your inflating ego. Finally, to farm fruits, there are several ways. You can scavenge like a hobo, raid the factory, raid the pirates, raid ships, raid Shadowlit, embrace capitalism and purchase the fruit, reject capitalism and beg. And finally, scam the scammer by creating multiple new accounts and roll for a random fruit every 2 hours because it's cheaper for lower level players to gamble. Of course, if you're very cash money and are tired of grinding, nothing a little microtransaction cannot solve.
Look at all those good deals. Go steal your mom's credit card.
You will likely be whipped, but in the pain, you will find joy. Because only masochists play this game, so you'll
Harder, daddy. What?
you'll probably enjoy being whipped. Once you have reached maximum level, you pretty much just go around killing other people for honor or bounty while trying to not get killed by the other guys who are also going around killing people for honor or bounty. Big numbers means that you're good at the game. It instates fears. The gameplay at this point is not interesting anymore, and the only pleasure you get from this game is from ruining other people's day. You can do some troll builds to f with the melee mains, or max out all your masteries if you really don't have anything better to do in life. I guess you can collect ships, they're pretty useless. And titles, they don't do anything neither. They're pretty useless, but people still collect them. They're kind of like Discord roles. I don't know, man. If you got all this time to lose playing this game, might as well watch One Piece. You'll die of old age before you finish it. I honestly thought there would be a lot of changes from what people told me, but it's still pretty much the same f***ing game. Anyways, that's about it. Subscribe, like, and comment E in the comment section, and I'll give you a really good cure for a diarrhea. Now, the Ministry of Taxation must interrupt your program to bring this important message. The Chaos Legion needs your money. Your free trial, freedom has ended.
Send me your money.
Tankfish requires financial support to buy body pillows. The orphans in the basement are now producing drip. What they're gonna do, tell their parents? Buy the drip, secure the goods, procure the drip, and save a starving child. Acquire merchandise. Steal your mom's credit card. Capitalism. Give me your credit card number, the expiration date, and the numbers behind. Buy this one, and this one. Shit's better than cocaine. Buy all of them. Give me your money. We serve the Soviet Union. Your money is our money. Look at this shirt. It represents the current condition of the Chaos Legion. Support the Legion now. Or die. You will not ask twice. The cop will find you. All the money goes into real-life cat-girl research program. Reject humanity. Become simp. Made by children for children. Link in the description.
提醒太陽可有看穿透你，正常地太陽只貌死落你，他領導我們去自己反應，前面變成danger so to run，一有so要呀是有啊，前面變成danger so to run。